Yo people, it is me, Rak-Su, and around the corner is going to be one of the fights of the year, especially in the crossover boxing space, because it's going to be Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. And for me, I'm so excited to see it. There's so much intrigue. You've got one person who's from a real boxing family. His older brother is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I think his great-granddad might have been king of the gypsies and the best fighting man in England. And on the other side of it, you've got Jake Paul, who was on Disney Channel as a kid, although he was a high school wrestler, I believe. And then, after having a really successful career online, has managed to transition himself into boxing. Has been going hard at it for the past 3 years. So it's like, who's going to come out on top? How's the fight going to go? I don't know. I really want to see it. But for today, we're going to watch some of their highlights and just, yeah, see what we see. We're going to start off with Jake. So let's do it.
The problem child, Paul.
Anybody know why it's called the problem child? I like this. That Slim loves that as well. Okay, so here's him fighting Anderson Gibb, right? I feel like a lot of people rate Gibb really highly within the boxing scene. The fact that Jake managed to dispose of him like this, how many years ago now?
3 years ago, a month ago.
So, yeah, Jake, listen, he's been on his stuff. Left hooks, the straight rights. One thing about Jake as well that you see from his fights is he's really comfortable with actually standing in range. Like a lot of people, when we're novices, myself included, like when you first start fighting, you don't really want to be stood in the pocket. Like you just want to be out of range from punches. But Jake must be on crud, I can't lie to you, because he's happy to just stand there. Yeah, then there's the Nate Robinson overhand. I mean, Nate, obviously I've got so much respect for you as a basketball player, but as a boxer, boy. But the uppercut, oh, then the overhand right, like he's putting his punches together. This is not just a novice. Do you know what I mean? Uppercut, step back, overhand right. That's impressive stuff. I can't lie. Like, that is impressive stuff. So, look at this. Nah, I'm sorry. He went to work. That guy came for a paycheck. Look at him. That guy came for a paycheck. He ain't even ran up the stairs in about 2 months. Like, he just came for a paycheck. Ben Askren, I rate it. You came, you got banged, you got your money, you went home. I get it, bro. I get it. You were probably on the beach, flew in, got your peas, went back to the beach. Jake, he don't count. That one don't count. Tyrone Woodley, though, this one does count. Oh, look at the combination punching. Nah. Bruv, he's moving like he's at... Look at this. Okay, all right, we're at range. We're at range. Fake to the head. Jab to the body. Tyrone Woodley shells up. Cool. Little left hook. And then boop, uppercut to the body. Boop, left hook around the top. That's proper combinations. That's proper. That's not a joke. That's not a game. Okay, Jake. And again, waiting for that counter left hook. Okay, Jake, you're a bad man. Woo, slip that. Bang! How would you like that? You see, he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff. That is good. That is good. He saw the jab coming, slipped inside it, overhand right, boom. Let Tyrone Woodley come forward. Okay. Check left hook, bang. Nah, it's cold.
Before you continue, one thing I want to mention, obviously that's the first fight.
Yeah.
He did get saved by the ropes, because Jake Paul got knocked out, and the ropes kept him in.
Do you know what? I remember this.
The ropes kept that motherfucker in the
fight. I remember this. But sometimes, you got to roll with your luck, do you know what I mean? You got to roll with your luck. Because I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's doing some high-level things, do you know what I mean? He's doing some things that for me, who's someone who's been doing it for a little while, I'd be really happy with myself if I managed to do this stuff. This is the second fight, isn't it? Good night, Josephine. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my goodness gracious me. Tyron Woodley's got dude wipes on the back of his shorts. His face was wiping the canvas. That is what happened. Jake Paul wiped the floor with him. He was the dude that got wiped. It is a madness. Oh my gosh. Because what you can see here, yeah, this is why Jake's a bad man. He went fake to the body. You see that? Fake to the body. Okay, Tyrone, what are you going to do? Oh, you think it's a reset? You think it's a reset? Fake to the body. Psych. Bang. Yeah. That's mad. Bro, he's asleep. I don't think my feet have... He's asleep. He's taking a nap. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you remember people were saying they thought it was fake? Look at that man. That if you paid me £200,000, I wouldn't be able to fall over and land my legs like that. They're like this. He's asleep. Wow. No, I'm sorry. Oh, no. Good night. Oh, no. Head walk. That's crazy. Anderson Silva, he caught him with the same thing. Tommy better be careful, you know, because if that lands, this is against us. This is against Anderson Silva. This is a guy who's been fighting all his life. Again, drop the level. Come in. We go straight right to the body. Left hook to the body. Right hand up top. Look at that. Is he going to do it again? Jab up top, jab up top. Putting his punches together, throwing in 3s, 4s and 5s. Whoa! That's proper business. Proper. No, I'm sorry. Look, he's out of range. Out of range. Blind him with that up top. Shoot to the body. Left hook round. Little jab to open him up. And then boom, land that over the top. Goodbye. Sit down. Don't get up so quickly. You need to rest. You're an old man. That's one thing I will say. He's like, what, 45, 46 years old? So, Jake, it was an excellent boxing display, but again, it's somebody who's at the end of their fighting career anyway. I hope he never fights again, because that's a legend. We don't want to see a legend getting hurt. But, yeah, you got to respect it. Hasn't been in the game for a long time, but he's had a good time since he's been there. Jake Paul, I can see why you're a problem child now. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, so now we're about to get into watching the Tommy Fury highlights. Watching the Jake Paul highlights, we've seen that he's managed to pick up some really good traits and habits that actually people that have been boxing for a minute would want to have. I would expect Tommy Fury to have these just ingrained in his blood anyway. But yeah, let's see.
Tommy TNT Fury.
If you're going to call yourself TNT, you better knock some people out. That's one thing I will say. Okay, again, this is like, you will never ever find a novice. You won't find many influencer boxers who will stand there in the middle of the ring and throw double uppercuts or triple uppercuts. Like, the comfortability you have to have with your range to throw them is something. That takes pedigree and that takes time. So even just there, you're seeing there's levels to this. The body shot's dirty. The other guy is not really putting Tommy under any pressure, so I'm not going to read too much into that. Okay, interestingly, this is really unimpressive. So, not that I'm a pro or anything, but he's got his man here on the ropes, and he's thrown the left to the body, and he's been caught. Right to the body, left to the body, right to the body, left to the body, right to the body, left to the body, right to the body, or tried to end it with an uppercut and he missed it. That's not particularly impressive. At some point, I'm like, you need to step back and pick your shot so actually something's getting through, because you're wasting a lot of energy. Obviously, we're only watching highlights here, but I feel like if he does that against Jake, Jake's going to be pretty comfortable with it. Okay, that though, what we just saw there, that's proper boxing. That is, he's aware, he's ready for it, he knows what's going on. The other geezer has thrown the left hook, he's just been out of range, he's taken his arm down, and bang. That is the type of shot that if Jake isn't careful, can sit a man down. That's high level boxing IQ. Tommy? Yes. He was really hurt from the straight right, to be honest with you. This is just piling on. But you got to finish. It's what you're there to do. And he did that. He finished the job. Look at the ref trying to save him. Oh! Yeah, the uppercut was beautiful. The uppercut was beautiful. Just waited for it. The other guy's put his head down. Tommy's read it, timed it. Oh, crack. I mean, what I will say, with a lot of these highlights so far, the other guys are either hurt, tired, or Tommy doesn't respect them at all. So he's basically walking down, walking them down, not even thinking about defense and just letting his hands go. So it'll be interesting to see how he responds against someone who's game, who wants to actually come and fight him. Because these all look like he's having it all his own way. But he's disposing of them, and you can only beat what's in front of you, right? Again, that uppercut. This is interesting. Tommy's caught a few people with uppercuts as they're coming in and they're trying to roll their heads. Jake's best punches against Anderson Silva and against Tyrone Woodley both came from him getting quite low and throwing that overhand right over the top. So it might be a little bit of a game in this fight as to who's going to connect first. Is it going to be Tommy connecting with an uppercut as Jake goes low? Or is Jake going to be able to get there with his overhand right before Tommy intercepts with the uppercut? The fight might be decided on one of those two punches, I can't lie. Yeah, the movement from Tommy is... Yeah, that is... You don't get that overnight. Like, you get that over years and years and years of being in the gym, of seeing what you're supposed to be doing, of looking at the footwork. Like this, that is... It's proper boxing. For him to... He's launched that attack. Tommy slipped it, threw the check hook. The other guy's thrown again, but Tommy's thrown his right, stepped off to the angle, so the other person's gone past him, and then cracked him again as he's going past. Like, that is... That's proper. That's proper. That's going to be hard to live with. Oh, this is him against Anthony Taylor, where he's got such a long reach. I actually found it a bit weird how close he let AT get to him at times, but he did have somebody who was coming at him, get hurt and to win the fight. So, again, he did what he was supposed to do. Weight-wise, though, I'm looking at this fight here. The guy who he's fighting against doesn't look athletic at all. Like, I haven't seen Tommy fight one person who looks like he's of a similar, who looks like they're at a similar size to him. Haven't seen him fight any athletes there who look like they're the same height. Jake is of the same stature as Tommy. So that's going to create a whole new challenge for him to overcome. What's he going to do when he's not the physically dominant bigger man? Putting the shots together, lovely though. Yuck. Yeah, imagine eating that. Yeah, that overhand right. I mean, it's interesting. It's like different styles. Jake tends to set shots up with little lighter ones to then land the bombs that he wants to get through. Whereas Tommy quite often will throw 3, 4, 5 punches all at kind of similar velocity and will just let his hands go. Who's fought a higher level of opposition? What's harder, a journeyman boxer or a retired elite level UFC fighter? Scott behind the camera is saying the elite UFC boxer is a higher level. I'm inclined to agree purely because they're coming out to try and win. And I think if you're a journeyman boxer, there might be times that you're coming out and you kind of know you're going to lose and you just accept it. Whereas I feel like Tyrone Woodley, Anderson Silva, like they were in their heart of hearts thinking, yeah, I'm going to win this fight. And Jake had to take that away from them. I also just think the physical difference. I mean, but to be fair, Jake's never been in the ring with anyone as big as him either. So they're both probably going to struggle with that. In all of their fights, they have been the bigger, more imposing person. I don't know what they're going to do when they get into the ring.
Anderson's bigger than Jake.
Anderson's bigger than Jake.
Anderson's huge, man. He's 185, UFC fighter.
But height?
Yeah, height is taller.
Anderson was taller than Jake?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, if that's true, then that's a big advantage to Jake because I don't know how Tommy's going to deal with that. Like, everyone who Tommy's fought is either muscular but like 4 inches shorter than him, or they just don't even look like they work out at all anyway. So I think he might be in for a real shock there. But just looking at these videos, the person with the highest pedigree and the highest level of boxing IQ is definitely Tommy Fury. I think for Jake to win this fight, he's going to have to have just worked his butt off over the past however many months. He's going to have to get himself to a level of fitness and conditioning that Tommy can't get to, and he's going to have to hope that he manages to land one of those punches from the gods, because I think if it goes into the later rounds and it does become a battle of who's a better boxer, then I really do think that Tommy should have too much for him, because he is actually a decent boxer. But mentality and attitude-wise, how distracted is Tommy going to be? Obviously, he went on Love Island. I don't know how seriously he's taken his boxing career, but the opponents he's been fighting, Tommy Fury has fought against somebody that I've fought against, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, he's also just had a baby recently too. So then how does that affect him during camp? And how does that affect him now? Does that make him more hesitant? Is he more worried about getting hurt? There's a lot of things at play here, but if I was a betting man, my money would be on Tommy Fury winning. And I think Tommy Fury stops him in the latter rounds. Not necessarily by a one-punch knockout, but I think as fatigue starts to set in and more punches let go and Jake starts to slow down, I think Tommy just has too much for him, and I think he stops him. My heart actually wants Jake to win, because I want Jake to win and I want KSI to win his next fight, so we get the super fight that we all want, which is KSI versus Jake Paul. But my head, having watched both of those highlights, says, yeah, Tommy might be a bit too slick and might be the one that wins it. But, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And obviously, keep your eyes peeled, because on the 4th of March, me versus King Kenny, Misfits number 5, that is about to go down as well. So a whole load of crossover boxing coming your way. Let's get it.